Hello, and welcome to another video. I'm going to cover Pyro and Plasma. This is probably going to be the shortest one of the bunch, as it is very simple. Going into the top left, we have our set bonuses here. I run Stimulated and Shock Trooper. However, you can run Mandalorian Armorants over Stimulated. However, I prefer Stimulated as its uptime is better, at least at PvP. Going into our stats, this is a picture with Stimulated on, so you can see how much mastery I'm actually getting here. It's 758 if I remember correctly, which is not bad. And that also goes into critical chance too, which is nice, as we are lacking in the critical area this expansion. 4 alacrity pieces and 1 alacrity aug. I do the aug thing to smooth out my GCDs. Don't have to do this. You can do this if you want to. This is what I do, personal preference. However, it's not going to make that much of a difference at the end of the day. Pretty much everything else goes into critical. We don't run accuracy as it's not really necessary. Rail shot is only white damage, so is hammer shot. And whether that hits or not is not too priority. It's not a big portion of our damage. Then going into our talents here, pretty much always recommend Culto Breaker. Then you can either take AoE DR or Reflective Armor. That's totally optional. Pretty much everybody's going to take Hydraulics, obviously. Then there's the Heat Reduction on CC. That one's really good. It works on Chain Lightning, for example. The next one is the Carb talent. This reduces the cooldown on your carb, but also gives you CC immunity on your shield. It's way too strong to not take. Then the one below it, I recommend the Rail Shot dot. However, the other two are good in the proper situation. So if people are dying fast, having the burst move is nice. If people are clumping a lot, the other one ends up being also really nice. Then going into the bottom, you can take the Cylinder one. It's really good with flame dissipation. However, if you're not able to have the uptime for the Cylinder one, I recommend just taking the AoE punch. AoE punch usually ends up being the safer option. Going into our tactical choices, superheated fuel and flame dissipation. Flame dissipation is really good if you're new to the spec, you're not really good at managing your heat. However, superheated fuel will give you more burst and also better burst windows or AoE damage windows. Both of them are really good. I'd recommend superheated fuel before getting flame dissipation, as you may not like flame dissipation. Going into our main combo here, we want to make sure that we have Scorch on everybody, which is Plasmatize on Republic. This is the most important ability. This will do a majority of your damage, so you want to make sure you get this on everybody. Then the second thing that we'll do here is find a good person to spread off of. So once we found that person, we're going to Shock Strike them, or Flaming Fist him, which will then apply a root. Then you can do Incinerate Round / Missile, then do Ion Wave / Searing Wave to spread that. And then you can either use Explosive Surge or Flame Sweep, or Flame Burst / Ion Pulse. It really depends whether it's single target or AoE. Single target Flame Burst is just better. Then we have Emulate and Rail Shot. These are your priority after you've done that, or the priority before. You should probably Flame Sweep. However, if it's a big clump, you might want to try to get some Flame Sweeps off. Also, if you're watching your heat, get a free Flame Sweep. I believe it's from Emulate, or after using Emulate. So that's one thing to consider if you're trying to manage your heat. Then your proc after punch is for Rail Shot. And then to vent heat, we have Leap and Auto Attack. You'll fit these in every now and then if you're not getting CC'd. Super simple. Heat problems aren't too common unless you're really going hard or messing up your rotation. So for the most part, that's pretty much everything on screen. We'll go into game and I'll go over a couple of things. So now we're in game. I want to show you something. I'm running Flame Dissipation. So basically what happens here is that we have stacks. These stacks last for 15 seconds, and the cooldown of Shock Strike is 8 seconds, or a little bit over 8 seconds. So you have to do this 4 times before you can get full stacks. This is not terrible, but obviously if people are dying a lot, chances are you're not getting 4 of these at all. So the AoE one just ends up being better. However, let's say you do. See, now we have 4 stacks, so our cylinder damage is going to be higher. So what I want to do here is punch again. It's going to apply a burning to him. That's the cylinder damage, by the way. And then when I relish shot, it should apply a dot, but didn't apply a dot because I am just absolutely silly. It needs incinerary round on the target. My bad. Don't make fun of me. All right, so now we can do it. There we go. Now we got that on there. You can kind of see like what it does. With the cylinder maxed out, and I'm also running flame dissipation, but do keep in mind, I'm not actually proccing flame dissipation, so it's completely useless here. This is just showing you the damage of the dot. It ends up being just better. You'll just have to make sure that you have incinerated round. I keep forgetting that on the target first. I pretty much always do that anyway when I'm playing, but I forgot it here. It's been a little bit since I played Pyro. I'd recommend, that talent usually because it's just safer. Then the biggest thing to take away, when you're learning defenses for Pyro, you need to know that Adrenaline Rush will not break soft CC, so if you get low slash or whirlwinded, or force push, you won't be able to. I think you actually can use it on force push. I'm not certain, but I think you can. But it'd be a waste, just so you guys know. But you could pop it if you needed it. But low slash whirlwind, it's not going to work. The second part of whirlwind too, I think it will work, but you're still stuck in the animation, so it's only if you're about to die. Low slash, you won't be able to use it. So you want to make sure that you have it pre-popped just in case you get into a dangerous situation. So if you're like getting low, you might want to just cold out next CC, or if you're getting really low, just pop it rather than using it as a CC breaker so you can get low slash and killed anyway, and it never worked. That would be terrible. You really don't want that. Cold out is a very strong defensive, and you want to take advantage of that. So don't just save it as a CC breaker. And just like AP, you can use this ability and move, which will allow you to reposition if you ever need to. It won't do as much damage as AP, but that's pretty much it for Pyro. If you have questions about Pyro, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to help. It's a very simple spec. There's not really much thought process to the rotation. It's pretty much dot everybody can. You see your scorch fall off on somebody, which is very visual, by the way. Just reapply it to everyone. Every time that you can use Ion Wave or Searing Wave, pretty much try to spread your incinerate around. It times up pretty much the same amount of time. So this is 13 seconds. Ion Wave is about 13 seconds. Pretty much the perfect time. So basically every time that you need to reapply your incinerate around, Searing Wave will be back. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll have a bunch of guides listed in the description. Feel free to check that out. But again, other than that, hope you guys have a good rest of your day.